So you're welcome back to my YouTube channel, where we look at the market holistically from different views on how we can navigate the market and look for potentials that we can maximize profit or losses from. All right, okay, so you know how we'll do it. We'll look at the dollar and the projection of the dollar, okay, which is the indicative of the dollar. We'll do DXY, which is the indicative. All right, okay, remember our analysis from the last class. We are looking at this range, this daily range that the market currently is looking at exceeding, all right, from this level. So we're looking at this. So once this happens, since we've been looking at the market being bullish, once this happens, it means that the market is going to be what? Bearish, because price is trying to exceed that level. So all we need to do is to wait for price to go back to the upside, then we keep going back to the downside. All right, so this is our projection for the week. So it means that we'll be having more of the upside for the dollar than the downside. Okay, so once we have more of the upside of the dollar, then we now have the downside. Since market from the daily perspective is looking bearish, because this level has been what? Exceeded. Price has exceeded that level. Okay, so if we are looking at that, we'll be in favor of the dollar for the week, and we'll see how we can maximize this information that we've gathered so far. So let's look at Euro USD and the likes of it. All right, okay, so this is Euro USD and this is the daily time frame. All right, so from the daily time frame, we equally have the market being bearish, because this was the last move to the upside. This was the last move to the upside. Then we have a swing, and a swing that gave us what? A range. So we had this range and this range. So we created another range, this one and this very one. So from the look of things, it's more like price has exceeded this level. So we're no longer looking towards the downside, we are now looking towards the upside. So we're looking at the market coming back down, then pushing back to the upside, since price has exceeded what? This level. Okay, so we are no longer bearish, but what? Bullish. We are no longer bearish, but bullish. So we're looking at the market being bullish, but after the push to the downside. So if you look very well, we'll see that the market was creating highs within the range. Highs within the range. Highs, lows within the range. Highs, lows within the range. Okay, but now it now exceeded this range. Now exceeded what? The range. So price now exceeded what? This range. Okay, so we now see that we are now what? Bullish. So all we need to wait for is for a correction back to the downside, then another impulse back to the upside. So this is actually what we'll be looking at for. We'll be looking at for these for weeks, but then they decided to do it this week. So we'll start all of this move this week, then next week or next year, hopefully we can now see price pushing back to the upside. Okay, so for Euro USD, I think I'm going to be in a sell for it this week. So for last week, I was selling from this level down, but the market just came back up and moved towards this direction this week. So but then I told you guys that when the market is in a corrective phase, it doesn't move that much because it's trying to do a whole lot of decision making. So all we need to do is to wait for it to do what? To give us a very sweet narrative about what is going to happen in the market. Okay, so we are expecting that price is going to do what? Come to the downside, then pushes back to the upside. So all of this is going to take us like some few weeks before we get to this level, then before we start going back to the upside. So we have a whole lot. So looking at this market right now, we see that the market is going to be what? Bullish for some time, but then we need a correction back to the downside, then a push back to the upside. So this is my take for Euro USD. We're going to be selling it massively this week. Then we can look at GBP USD also. You know, we've been waiting for this market to actually do what? To actually drop to the downside. Okay, so this market has not changed direction to the upside. We are still bearish. This is the last push to the upside. Swing low and swing high was established. This was the high and this was the low established, and this one also established another swing low. Okay, so we are still within this range, but looking at what the dollar is doing means that this move will keep going up, or we're going to have a rejection of this level, more like this, and we keep going back to the what? Upside. Okay, so this is what I am seeing for the dollar. The dollar is going to be temporarily strong, then the weakness will now follow. All right, so for the H4 time frame, we've been waiting for the market to come back down before we push to the upside, but that didn't happen. So we're going to wait for it to do all of that right now before we think about what? Pushing back to the upside. All right, so anything about the dollar for this week is going to be strong. So the dollar is going to be strong typically for this week. So we'll be thinking about trading in line with the US dollar, with the strength that we've noticed. So looking at the dollar index, so we are just waiting for the market to close for the day, then we see pushes to the what? Upside. All right, then we start seeing pushes to the downside. Okay, so that is it for the US dollar, and this is what we do every single week to see how we're going to maximize the information that we're going to gather for the week to make profits in some cases and also make losses also, because the forex market is about win or lose. It's a zero-sum game. When you're winning, somebody else is what? Losing. When you're losing, somebody else is what? Winning. So price, the US dollar is most likely going to be what? Strong for the week, then other week will now start looking for what? For weakness. So for this week, Euro USD is going to be a buy. Euro USD is going to be a sell. Euro USD is going to be a sell. Everything about the dollar is going to be in favor of the dollar. So Euro USD is going to be a sell. All right, so we're looking at it coming back to the downside. Euro USD, GBP USD also, it's going to be a sell also. We can add AUD USD, can be a sell also. So this is what we looked at for last week. We're looking at for it to come back to the downside, but as it stands right now, this market is still going to push to the upside. All right, so we're still pushing to the upside, so we're going to have a push back to the downside and a push back to the upside. Okay, so what we are looking at for is that on the H4 time frame we are super bullish. So what we need right now is for the market, let me take all of this off so we look at it from the daily perspective. All right, so we are looking at this market from the whole of this level, and we're seeing that the market is going to drop downwards, then push back to the upside. I can see something here. This looks so sweet and so familiar. I think a lot of persons will just notice what I'm doing here. This is an head and shoulder pattern. So price coming back down, pushes back to the upside. So you can see very well that we have a very sweet pattern that is going to happen around here, come back down and push to the upside. So that is just a typical one for the daily time frame. So we want to see price get back to this level. Price get back to this level. Okay, so that's for AUD USD. So let's look at NZD USD. NZD USD. All right, okay, so we have all of our analysis from last week. Okay, so for this we've exceeded this level. All right, since this is the last push to the downside, we've exceeded that level. And you know, going to the upside, the market created this high and created this low. So since price has exceeded this level, this is now a swing low. So we want price to do what? Equally come back to the downside, then push. All right, so you can see that the strength of the dollar is visible everywhere in the market. We can look at USD card, can look at USD CHF and all of that. All right, okay, so this is USD card. USD card from the daily perspective, we can see that the market is still in the bullish environment. Very bullish, is in the bullish environment. But then I can equally see something else. I can see this. So we can see all of these, all of these, all of these head and shoulder pattern. Okay, head and shoulder pattern. Head and shoulder pattern. So we equally just see the market push to the upside, then we think about it coming back to the downside. So it's equally showing the strength of the what of the dollar. So we can look at USD CHF. Okay, USD CHF. All right, so we're still super bullish until we have this market take this low. Super bullish until we have that market take that low. So we now have a lot of confluences to work with. So we can have this market move towards this direction, then fall to the downside. All right, so we have too many confluences to work with. So we are still in the bullish environment, but looking at what the dollar is doing, it means that we're going to have strength from the dollar towards the upside. Then we keep pushing back to the downside. So that is it for the week. Looking at the dollar, we can see we have too many confluences. All right, so we're just looking at what the close of the candle will be for the daily. to see that price has exceeded this level, and then we now know that we are now in a bearish environment ranging from this very high. All right, this was initially just a high. If market exceeds this level, it means that we'll just go back to the upside and keep pushing back to the downside. All right, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for showing up in my YouTube channel every single time. So please like, subscribe, and please drop your comments. If you have any questions you want me to answer, just drop your comments. If you have anything to make a request about, please drop your comments, and please help us grow, because we just started this YouTube channel. So just help us grow and stick with us, because we have a whole lot we want to bring to the table. So thank you very much, and see you next week, or we'll see you later this week to give you an update of how the market played out. So thank you very much, and see you next week. Thank you very much.